Today we were talking about Kalyananamit, or a wise friend in Dhamma, and also the meaning of Sangha, especially what it is to take refuge in Sangha. So in the beginning, one important point that's very good to understand is that when we take refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, what are we taking refuge in, and what does it mean to take refuge? Why do we take refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha? So one point is that actually all these three things are really one. For instance, the Buddha is no longer here. Physical Buddha is no longer here. He's just a memory. But his teaching is here. We have access to his teaching, and the teaching that he gave is the Dhamma. The Dhamma is the truth, the law that stays always, regardless of whether there is a Buddha or not, regardless of whether anybody speaks it or not. And Sangha stands for the one who knows this truth, who has seen it or has seen a part of it at least, and who is able to tell you about it. It stands for the one who can show you how to correct yourself, who can point out your faults and show you how to get rid of them. So when we take refuge in Sangha, for example, means really more specifically, it's not like taking refuge in a good community of people or a community of supporters, or this can be an aspect of it, but it's not to depend on a group of people or depend on having a nice kind of family atmosphere at all. It's more to have refuge in a teacher, a wise person on whom we can depend, who we can trust to show us the way to find wisdom for ourselves. So when we take refuge in the teacher, it means we're not taking refuge in, like, it's not the teacher as in the body and mind of this person, the four elements of his body or his mind. It's not this. We're taking refuge in his wisdom and his quality, in actually the Dhamma that he practices. So all the Dhamma that he practices and the wisdom that he can bring to us is originally from the Buddha, and it is the truth and the Dhamma that he has seen. It's all one. So it's all linked together, all one. When we say take refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, this is what we mean. And taking refuge is for the one who sees that he is without refuge in the world, who sees that everything else in this world is comfortless, is insecure, is changing, and is ultimately ending up in suffering. Therefore, you look for refuge in a place where there is security. So it's like you go to be a refugee in someone's house. You put your life into their hands almost. So you put your life into the wisdom of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And unlike in most other religions or other spiritual practices, it doesn't mean at all that you're kind of giving up any of your own agency or your own free will or anything like that. On the contrary, it is you go to refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, but it is for the purpose of finding your own wisdom and becoming a refuge unto yourself, an island to yourself. So in this subject, we have a metaphor or an example that the teacher, the guide, is for the one who is searching for wisdom. So it's as if you are in a desert island or on a desert. The guide is the one who can show you where to find an oasis, where you can find food and water. So he's only useful for the one who is looking for food and water, who is thirsty, hungry, who is asking, oh, please help me find food, help me find water, help me find some kind of security. And he's there to point you the way. He can't bring you on his shoulder. He can't go there for you. You have to go there yourself, but he can point the way to you. But to somebody who is not looking for that, who's not looking for water and food, who thinks that they can find some themselves, or who thinks they don't need it, the guide can point all he wants, but they won't follow, so he's not of much use to them. So in the same way, the teacher, the guide, the Sangha in Dhamma is useful for the one who wants to change and correct himself and find wisdom in himself. He's not so useful for the one who is searching for something else. And this searching for something else can be all kinds of things. It can be, I want to be more happy in the life. I want to have a better type of life with less problems, but I don't want to give up things. I want to have a good job. I want to have a family. I want to have go to heaven. I want to have a good PhD. I want all kinds of other things. That is not finding wisdom. The Dhamma is for the one who only wants to find wisdom. Just like if you're in a desert island, your only priority is to find something to drink and to eat. So that's the summary of the meaning of Kalyananamit, or good friend, wise friend in Dhamma.